T-Man 978 Chill Comparison Review. Hello everyone, T-Man 978. Full disclosure, I've been feeling really lazy and unmotivated lately, but the subscribers keep on coming, so I figure, let me give them something to watch. What we have here is Transformers Animated Deluxe Class Soundwave featuring Laserbeak, who's a guitar. Transformers Animated Deluxe Class Electrostatic Soundwave with Ratbat. We all know him as Sound Blaster, that should be his real name. And Transformers Animated Activators Soundwave. I'm going to save him for last. Let's get into these guys. As you can see, they both have a nice deco. I don't know which one I like best. It's very hard to decide, and when you look at them side by side and the accessory that they come with, it makes you just want both of them, and that's what happened to me right here. Let's go into this dude. I love his neon deco right there. It just looks so excellent. I mean, in the back they cheaped out a bit. There's like no paint going on back there. There's even a license plate little deco right there. I never paid attention to that, but let's remove Laserbeak. But it looks nice. There's a power on deco. He's designed to look very retro because of course that's a cassette deco right there, which is very cool. Here's the underbelly. No real kibble showing at all. Electrostatic Soundwave. Like I said, I love this one too. And as you can see, Ratbat can fit up there like that. Or if you don't like that, he can fit up there like this. Both of them have this port up there for Laserbeak and Ratbat, but here is his design. It's sort of like, I guess, tribal flames or whatnot. I've been having trouble getting this to connect flush. Now, your mileage will vary because toys like to do different stuff. No detail on the back of him as well. And, yeah, it looks nice. Of course, I didn't mention this on the other Soundwave, but of course this is a callback to Soundwave's controls on his tape cassette deck that he had. But here they both are together, and they both look cool. Now let's get into transformation, which is pretty much simple. What I like to do first, grab this and hinge that down. Get that out the way now. Now we could pull out the doors here. Might have to loosen things up right there. Pull this stuff out and down. Flip these wheels on the front. You could go ahead and bring the head down. Lift this chest panel up. It's a hinge under here. Lift this up and connect it into place. Now we can separate these. Bring this panel up here like that. Bring this panel up here like that. Go ahead and rotate the legs out to the side like this. Push this up. Rotate the legs out to the side. Push that up. Actually, flip that around. Flip this around. And then rotate the waist. Now stretch the arms out. Pull the hands out on both sides. I did have this head down, but now here's Soundwave in his robot mode, and this mold has a lot of strengths and a lot of weaknesses. Let's go into the weaknesses first. One thing I'm happy that Hasbro got away from is ball jointed knees. Because this thing has ball jointed knees, it's just destined to get loose joints. Because look at that. His upper body is so heavy. Let me zoom out, I didn't realize. But yeah. Now the other Soundwave is better because I didn't play with him as much because he was a second mold, but yeah. Another thing I hated, a lot of the animated figures had like the monkey arm situation going on. Now, luckily with this guy, you could rotate. He has a socket rotation right here with a ball joint. and ball jointed elbows. There you go with that. It can rotate, so he doesn't necessarily have to have monkey arms. He can have hands like this, but his hands are permanently in this judo chop pose right there for holding Laserbeak. Another weakness, almost no outward motion. The more you push this up, his head is going to go up. And besides posability, what I don't like about the design, besides this, as far as the arms, the chest sticking out so far away from the waist. In the cartoon, it didn't do that. So it's like when you, depending on how you look at him, he just looks like all chest, and it's covering his waist, which is very slim. I mean, he kind of looks like what they're going for, a man in a suit. Because, like, look at this design back there. This looks very nice. Like, he has an actual, like, robo butt and a back. So it just looks like he's wearing a backpack. And maybe he's a man in a suit. Because he has a normal looking humanoid abdomen and everything. And humanoid legs. So it just looks like he has on robot boots, a backpack, a helmet, and robot armor on his arms and whatnot. But I like the color scheme. The head is very stylized as far as sound waves go. Kind of looks like he's wearing glasses. Here's the back of his head. I guess they're probably going to put light piping in there, but they decided against that at some point in the design phase or whatnot. But I definitely love his color scheme. I love his callback to his retro self. Even though he's a car, he didn't need all this. I guess he could play all his little sound weapons and whatnot with those buttons. One thing I like about his articulation is they gave him ankle pivot. And let's go into the articulation. I'll show the shoulders off. Of course, this swivels. He does have like an extra joint in here so the arms can do stuff like that, but that looks weird and doesn't really help anything. He has a hinge right here that makes him able to get a double jointed pose if you turn the arm like that, but if you turn it the right way, not so much. It's only about 90 degrees. And of course the forearm swivels down here, and it's on the ball joint. The hand can go in, but that doesn't help anything. He has a waist, ball jointed hips that do everything. The knee swivels, and the knee actually goes in like that. And I already showed his ankle pivot. Let's bring in this guy, Electrostatic. Same details going on, vastly different color scheme. Now, I honestly wish, since he's supposed to be a homage to Sound Blaster, I wish that he was actually a darker shade, but this is a new guy, so yeah, whatever. I like this shade of purple they used for that and his face. And this one does actually have light piping. It's red. You probably can't see it that well. And they actually, the light can go in through his backpack. So I guess that helps it shoot through his eyes. I don't know. It's not really lighting up, but you get the picture. I didn't zoom in on this detail on the other Soundwave. You really can't see it that well on him. But right here you can see his equalizer right there behind his chest plate. But he has some red paint down here. It's more paint on this Soundwave than this one. But this guy has slightly better knees. It didn't fall back as easily. And I love the purple, or this grayish dull purple. I don't know if the specific name of it that they use on the feet. As you can see, I guess you can consider this articulation, but his legs are hollow, and then that'll be hollow if you push that back. So if he was able to make his toes go forward, this thing would have been way more awesome. Let's let you see him from the back. Now let me get to their companions. First off, Laserbeak. And what I like about him is he uses a totally different color scheme than Soundwave. This black and red. Normally they try to give give the figure a unified color scheme with the weapons and themselves, but they went ahead and used mostly red. And I guess the way they got away with that is he has red on his visor, so I guess they did throw it in, and it's not as clever as I thought it was. But looks like this from the back. Here's a few options. You can store them like this on Soundwave's back. Just, of course, store them like this. He can hold them on his arm as a guitar. And I read a little bit. I don't have the packaging for these guys anymore. If I do, I don't know where it is. But Laserbeak is supposed to be able to acoustically hack any computer. So I guess that helps out Soundwave. I guess you can use it as a shield or some type of sharp weapon. But using this peg in his arm and one of these knobs right there, you can put that in his hand, rotate it, act like he's strumming the strings, and then go ahead and pose this hand up here. So now he's playing Laserbeak. Another cool thing about Laserbeak, because of his size, he works well with humanoid or humanoid-ish 6 and 7 inch figures, as you can see right here. That looks good, to me at least. But Laserbeak isn't just a guitar, he's actually a transformer himself. Go ahead and pull this part forward. You could wind up pulling, no, yeah, it does come all the way off. But push it here till the tip is not shown anymore. And go ahead and push this whole part forward. And I could have swore it made it automorph, but it doesn't. So bring this back, and now Laserbeak is a bird. I don't know what type of bird he is, and here's his little legs right there. He has a really long tail, but I guess he's a decent enough bird. He does have some details which went unpainted. They could have painted his beak, especially since it's hidden anyway. I mean, Soundwave is colored in gold. That could have justified them giving him a gold beak right here. And he has red. They could have painted his eyes, but he just looks so dull and lifeless. And moving these, I guess you could do that for posability, but it doesn't really look good since he's supposed to be a bird. If it could go all the way back, that would have been better. Now we can see the only reason that they gave him this elbow swivel. You put his arm like this, and you can attach Laserbeak using those same pegs that I showed off before. And now Laserbeak can talk to Soundwave. So now let's move over to Ratbat. Ratbat is another throwback to the 80s. He's a keytar. Something I don't know if too many people still use. You can see all his keyboard keys right there, and see little dials and whatnot. They aren't picked out in paint. Up here, that is painted. And he has one unfortunate feature. On this side, you can see his face visibly clear as day. It would be nice if the mouth could shut, or like on the packaging, the eyes were closed and the mouth is shut when he's in this form. But who's to say you can't have a keytar with a bat on there? So, whatever. It's not too big a deal right there. He's thicker than Laserbeak, which I'll demonstrate here. He's way thicker, and of course has a different transformation. To transform him, you just pull this out, and the body, like accordions like that, and you can straighten up the head. And now he is a bat with an impressive wingspan. The only articulation he has is the wings can go down like that. I wish they could go back, and it can go up. I wish they could go back, like he could do some type of flapping action. I guess he can kind of, sort of right there. But it stops right here due to the way it transforms. He doesn't really have any real good feet molded in. So, he is kind of weaker than Laserbeak. The only thing bad about him is mostly his head. But let's zoom into that head. There he is with that. I like the purpley paint that I mentioned earlier. It's the same paint. That's on Soundwave. It looks a little bit lighter, but that could just be me seeing things. Of course, his feet can peg into his Electrostatic Soundwave's arms the same way Laserbeak does. Having a bit of a trouble getting there. Come on. Okay. So, there you go with that. And he can fit on his back, but it just looks weird. It doesn't work out as like giving him wings or anything. Let me see. No, because once you start transforming them, these bend a certain way, and yeah, it doesn't really work out. But for storage, you can store them on his back like that, or like this. But keep in mind, come on in, get in there. Get in there. God, you get the picture. This head will be sticking up right there. I don't know why that's not going in there. I almost feel like I might have just broken. No, I didn't break it. But yeah, I like these two robots. Like I said, I don't know which one I like better. I'm liking Sound Blaster or Electrostatic a little bit better because his legs aren't all gimpy. And you know what I didn't show off? Him actually holding Ratbat. But there you go with this. Well, let's bring out Activators Soundwave after I show this off. Here he is next to a typical Combiner Wars mold right there. So you can see he's a bit taller, but Soundwave was a short deluxe for his time, and most of his mass is dispersed into his backpack and his shoulders and his legs. So he could have been taller, but they had to distribute the mass the best way they could. I guess they couldn't give him any more plastic to make him taller. You know how Hasbro does. Activators Animated Soundwave. This is going to be quick. He rolls incredibly well. He looks pretty much spot on like the other vehicles, with only a few minor aesthetic changes. But pretty much they tried to stay extremely close. Of course, because of the way he transforms, it's a big gap in the back, which is unfortunate. And he just has a little bit less paint detail. But why he's an activator, you push this button here, and he pretty much fully transforms to a robot. And automatic transforming robots isn't something that's new. You just have to pull those feet down and rotate these arms. But unlike what you get today with the 1- and 3-step changes, this is an actual fully functioning robot, an actual action figure. And one advantage he has over the other Soundwaves is his arm can actually go out to the side along with rotating. He does still have an elbow swivel and an elbow joint. He unfortunately does still have the flat hand syndrome with no little minion to play with. He doesn't have the speaker detail that the other two have. His head rotates on the swivel. It doesn't go up and down. He has no waist articulation, but he does have mid-thigh swivel, a bulge in the hip that does the same stuff as the other Soundwave. 90-degree knee. His toes can actually bend forward like I wish the bigger one could do, and they can go back a little taste. No ankle pivot. But one thing that his chest does better is it's more flush with his abdomen, but it leaves this little gap. I want that to be connected to the top of his chest so bad, but it doesn't. And here's what you're working with in the back. It doesn't have that humanoid body thing with the spine and the butt like the bigger one does, but it's decent, and like I said, it is posable. So you could almost do this, but this spring will make that sheet back. And let's get him out here with the bigger deluxe class one. Cool. Ugh. Let me not keep messing with that, but here they are together. You can see the changes for yourself. Like I said, it does have missing paint apps, like he has that blue line down there. He has a blue line on the forearms. This guy doesn't have that, of course, and it's hollow. And no speaker detail up there. And the shoulders are a totally different color. But it's a really cool toy, just like most of the other animated activators. I wish that they still made something like this as far as the one-step changes and whatnot, but those things are pretty much bricks, and I don't like them. So, should you rush out and find an online retailer that sells these guys? It's hard to say. I used to love these guys back in 2008, 2009 when I bought them, but now he's not as fun as I remember him being. I remember him this mold being a ton more fun, and even that little guy, but now I don't really care about them as much. I mean, they do look good just standing there, but even posed with their little instruments, they don't look as good as I remember them looking, and so it's hard to suggest them now unless you just are trying to get a full, complete animated collection. But that's up for you to decide using what I've given you. Thank you for watching. I'm going to put some videos right here I want you to look at, and I'm going to put maybe Masterpiece Soundwave right there, the review I did for him. I'm not completely proud of that video, but that is the top Soundwave you can get. But anyway, like I said, thanks for watching, thanks for liking, thanks for sharing, thanks for commenting. T-Man978 out of here till next time.